Hi guys, it is Niall and Tomas from niallpoints.com, and today is not a Eurovision reaction video. We are going to attempt to predict the qualifiers for semi-final 1. Ooh, and we've had a little bit of discussion beforehand, and I think we're already going to find it a little quite tricky. So we're going to start with Tomas, and Tomas is going to tell us his certain qualifiers.
Yeah. The thing is, like we've said it 1,000 times before, it's a very tough year, and I feel like both semifinals are really, really strong. I've been going over the list. I'd actually already made a top 10 of personal qualifiers that I want to go see through. Unfortunately, I fear for a couple of them. If we're looking at countries that I'm fairly sure that are going to make it, I would go with a couple of obvious ones. I think Croatia is definitely through. I think Lithuania is a safe qualifier. I think Ukraine is a safe qualifier. I think those three are locked. Those are the ones that I'm that's 100% certain. The only one that we know sometimes struggles a little bit is Lithuania, but we know that they have a very good song, they have a solid vocal, and they have a solid staging package ready that they can just sort of elevate a little bit. Then I have 3 more countries where I'm not 100% certain, but where I'm confident enough to say those are probably going to make it, which are Luxembourg. For 2 reasons. One, it's a good song, which is good it's performed very well. We also have a staging package that we had at Luxembourg Song Contest, which they can pretty much copy paste. And we know that they have the advantage of being the returning country. We all know what happened to Italy in 2011. They came second. Who'd have thought with that song? I think a lot was to do with the fact that they returned after a number of years. I don't know why my voice is breaking. Sorry.
It's because we've done so much singing over the last weekend at Eurovision in concert. That's totally all it is.
Not to mention the fact that we had 2 overly sick girls in the dorm with us at the hostel. I don't know what was wrong with them, but they were not well. Anyways, so that's Luxembourg. So that's my 4th qualifier. And then I have Finland, which I know some will disagree with. I genuinely think that in a televote only semi, there is really no way that this is not going to qualify. It's fun. It's upbeat. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's got a good hook. It's got a good beat. It's memorable. It's got insane staging, literally insane. You've got flying denim shorts. What more do you want? So I think Finland is definitely qualifying. And the last one, which is out of the 6 that I feel like I'm confident about, is the one that I'm least confident about, is Serbia. Because I think that Serbia is, if I'm checking the other songs that I have not yet named, I feel like apart from maybe Portugal, Serbia is really the only genuine ballad in the lineup. We've got Slovenia, which is a bit slower, a bit mystical, but I wouldn't really call that a ballad. We've got Portugal, which is sort of a ballad. But Serbia is really a classic ballad, and it's a Balkan ballad, which always does well. Serbia knows how to stage. And
it's sung beautifully.
Beautifully. And again, we had a really good staging package already in the Serbian national final. So they know how to do it. They know how to work the stage. So I doubt that they would mess it up. So I feel like, those 6, so Croatia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Finland, Ukraine, and Serbia, those are the ones that I'm fairly sure about are going to qualify. What about you?
Yeah, okay. Right. So I do think I tend to agree. Obviously, Croatia, Lithuania, Ukraine, there's not really any sort of question, as you said. No. There's enough hype. There's enough international coverage across Europe about some of these songs, especially Croatia. And there's a lot of promotion going on with Lithuania and Croatia as well, which is quite interesting. They don't really promote too heavily. as far as I remember, and we're seeing dance mobs and stuff like that being filmed for them. So that gives them a good advantage as well. I think that they're seeing this momentum and they're running with it. So they have to make sure they keep on top of that. But I don't see any way, unless they absolutely royally screw up, I don't see them not qualifying. With Serbia, and it's one I'm not sure of. I'm really 50-50 on Serbia, not because it's bad, it's just because I just see where it's stuck, but in the death slot in between Cyprus, which is a bop, and then straight into Luktelk. It's going to be quite tricky to really captivate the audience for those 3 minutes and be memorable. So that's my concern with that. But yeah,
do you feel like that might be the reason why it stands out, because it is followed by 2 really up-tempo party songs?
No, I think it might get lost in the mix a little bit. But out of the ballads this year, it is basically my favourite. So I would like to see it qualify. I'm just not sure if I can see any of the ballads really qualifying too easily this year. The same goes for Portugal. Any other year, I'd be like, yeah, I can see this doing well. But I'm just, with what we've got, it's just difficult. And I do think there's a lot of the borderline qualifications. I just can't call it properly. Can you hear Benny?
I can hear Benny. Yeah, it's funny.
Right.
I'm happy that for once it's not Billy. He's chewing on some kind of chicken thingy. I don't know what it is.
Benny, come here. What's this? Right. Apologies. So I completely lost my train of thought there. So with
they're talking about Serbia.
Serbia, yeah, I'm not sure, and the same with Portugal. I can see them qualifying. And I can see Serbia qualifying more so. There's part of me that just doesn't think it's going to happen, if that makes sense. It's interesting. And this year, you go through this whole running order. I can pull out several songs that I'm like, well, that could qualify, but it could not. And if you think, if this song qualifies, what song would it kick out? So you've got Iceland, for example. People slate that song, but it's a feel-good song for a lot of people. You've got Cyprus, and of course you've got the Monarch of Ireland, Bambi Folk. All of these songs are songs that could qualify, but if they weren't to qualify, who would qualify instead?
Yeah.
And that's where this is why I said it was going to be difficult. I really can't. I think I could do this 5 times and I'd say a different answer each time.
Yeah, because there is a case for a bunch of the countries. Because personally, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 countries where I'm like, these are on the fence. But I've already named 6 where I'm like, this is definitely going through. So out of those 4. 7, only 4 can take up those spots. So yeah, it is a very difficult one to predict this year. So who have you got? So you've got Croatia, you've got Lithuania, and you've got Ukraine so far.
Ukraine, yeah. I do think Finland. So now here's a controversial one, but I think a lot of people are sleeping on Australia. We've not seen what we're going to get with Australia. We don't have a clue other than the song. We've got no idea of visuals, but I've got a feeling that could be the surprise of semi-final 1. That song fills me with happiness. It tickles the back of my brain and just makes me feel nice and happy. So I think that I do think Australia is going to qualify. Oh, and Luxembourg. You said Luxembourg as well. Yes, I agree with that. It's sort of the last 3, So what did we say? It's sort of like the last 2 or 3 that I'm not sure, because Poland is a very strong one as well. Slovenia. I'm worried about a little bit after seeing it live at Eurovision in concert. It's not that it wasn't good vocally, it just wasn't captivating as much as you would want it to be.
I think Slovenia, it's one of those songs that in a pre-party, apart from slaying the vocals and being impressive that way, there's not really much that you can do on a small stage with just one camera on you to make it look impressive, especially for the people in the audience who don't even see any camera angles. You just see them on stage like we did. So I think that one has a lot of staging potential. So I'm gonna wait with that one until we actually see some staging. But I have it on the fence.
Right. I think what might be easier for me is to actually say 5 that I think will struggle to qualify.
Okay.
I'm not saying.
So the ones that you're certain about are.
I'm not certain about Tomas.
You are certain about Croatia. You're certain about Lithuania. You're certain about Ukraine. You said that.
I'll say Luxembourg in there as well, and I'm going to put Finland in there.
Finland and then So out of the 6 that I said, you said Serbia. You're on the fence about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is tough. Okay. Right. Ireland. Ireland is going to qualify. That's my opinion. Okay. And we will be sad if it's not. Actually, Ireland have been climbing the odds, I think I've been seeing.
They have. I think they're considered qualifiers now, which they weren't, before the pre-party. So
that's good to see. Right, the ones I think are going to struggle to qualify: Poland, Slovenia, Moldova, Azerbaijan is a maybe, actually. Portugal. Yeah, I think those are ones that are really going to struggle to qualify in my mind.
Yeah. I'd say for me, I have 6 that I'm fairly sure about. There's 2 for me where I'm like, I cannot see this qualifying in any way. Okay. Which are Moldova. Even though I know that Moldova sometimes surprises with staging, but I just don't. I like the song, I really do. I think it's a beautiful song, but I just don't think it is strong enough, not even by a long shot, to make it to the final. I wouldn't be angry if it did. Like, there's not a single song in that lineup that I would be upset about if it makes it over one of my favorites. Like, I'd be like, good on you, great, well done. But I really doubt that that's going to make it. And the second one, where I'm like, I find it really hard to see a path for it to the final, and it breaks my heart, is Iceland.
Yeah,
I just genuinely don't think that it's going to make it. Even though I love the song and I love Hera, we were lucky enough to grab a picture with her, which was super fun. She was super sweet. So she's an amazing person, and it is a bop, but there's a lot of bops this year, and I just do not see it standing out. It's all just a little bit. I don't want to say dated because that sounds very negative, but it's a little old-fashioned, maybe. Which is not altogether a bad thing, but it's not very innovative. The staging is not groundbreaking. Yeah, the song is not innovative. I think the only thing that could pull her through is maybe the fact that people, or a lot of people, will already know her from, was it 2010, I think she competed?
Not sure on the year, but I know it was Je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, I think it was 2010, but I'm not 100% sure. I could be wrong. Anyway, so that could be an argument maybe for why she could just scrape through, but I really doubt it. And then the ones that I'm on the fence about, so there's 7 left, which are, for me, Ireland, Cyprus, Poland, Portugal, Australia, Azerbaijan, and Slovenia. Those are the ones that, in my mind, are going to be fighting for those last 4 spots.
Mm-hmm.
If I have to name 4 now, I'm thinking Ireland, which I definitely wasn't confident about, pre-party season.
Yeah.
But they really convinced me with the pre-party season. Their performances were amazing. We saw somewhat of a staging concept in, I think it was either Madrid or Barcelona, where we actually had of the official footage, we had different camera angles, which were I told you this before, right? It was flashing from one angle to another, which I thought was really cool effect. And I thought, wow, if there's one country with huge staging potential, it is Ireland. They can really do anything they want to make it pop. So I hope that they do. And if they do, then I see no reason why it wouldn't qualify. But we know that they fumbled the bag a couple of times before with staging. So that's why they're on the fence for me. And then I'm going to go with Cyprus, because I just think that out of the ones left, the up-tempo ones, I feel like it's the one that will get the most support, because it's a little, this is going to sound really bad, it's a little basic, but in a fun way. And she performs it well, as we've seen in Amsterdam. I think with some good staging, some backing dancers in, what was it, grey sweatpants that they were wearing in Amsterdam. Know your audience. You got a load of gays watching, so might as well do that.
And Thomas went out the next morning and bought grey sweatpants.
And I bought grey sweatpants. That's actually true. So yeah, I think it's just one of those girl bops that just tends to do well. So I'm thinking Cyprus is going to make it, and that's where it gets really tricky, because Poland, Portugal, Australia, Azerbaijan, Slovenia, those 5 are really, really whereas Ireland and Cyprus, I'm 60% chance, but the other 5s, I'm really 50-50. Poland, love the song. It's in my top 10, but with Poland, it's really hit or miss with the staging. They've had really, really good staging, and they've had really, really bad staging over the past couple of years. So it's going to depend on how they approach it. It's not really a standout song. It's just a good, well-produced pop song. It's radio friendly. That's why I love it so much. If they stage it accordingly, I can see it qualifying. If they don't, then it will struggle. Portugal, I just personally do not have a connection with.
No.
But I know that a lot of people kind of like this type of song. Azerbaijan, I think, is probably the least likely of these ones to qualify. I'm not completely ruling them out, because it is Azerbaijan. They have qualified with less. I'm going to go with Slovenia. Slovenia is in, if they get the staging right. And then Poland, Portugal, or Australia. Jesus. Australia is just such a big question mark. There's no telling what they're going to do. I've heard from people from Australia that they can sing, that they're really good vocally live, but we have not seen any vocal, we have not seen any live vocals. We have not seen any staging. We didn't even have a proper music video, to be honest. So we have no idea what direction this is going to go into, but I do agree with what you say, it could be a surprise. I mean, and basically whatever they do is going to be a surprise, because we have no clue what's going to happen. But it can be a good surprise or a bad surprise. So, but also they have qualified with a lot less than this song. So Ireland, Cyprus, Australia, and Slovenia. I'm going to keep it at those.
Okay. So we have Thomas's qualifier. So you're saying Cyprus, Serbia, Lithuania, Ireland, Ukraine, Croatia, Slovenia, Finland, Australia, and Luxembourg.
Yes.
Okay. You know what? I do actually agree with them, but maybe in a different order from you. But yeah, I think I have to agree with you. I can't see Portugal or Moldova or Iceland qualifying. I would love Iceland to qualify. I would also love Natalia to qualify as well. I really love that song, and I think her staging is going to be, I think she has said it's just going to be her on the stage with her violin. I'm like, that could be quite powerful to watch, but could also be just a little bit basic. So, but yeah, I don't think that really stands a chance either. So yeah, I think.
Do you feel like, talking about Moldova, that the staging that they presented us with in the Moldova national final is, I mean, obviously we didn't have a backdrop. It was a very small stage, just a silly camera. But even with an elevated version of it, do you think it's an appealing staging, with the violins and stuff like that? Or do you feel like that's not really memorable enough?
I think in this crowd, especially coming straight after Finland, it's difficult, I feel like she's sort of in that sort of breathing space zone that you need after Finland. You can't watch Windows 95, man, and then be like, right, I'm ready for the next one. You need to be like, you need a couple of minutes to be like, what the fuck happened there?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I really like it, and I do like the sort of, we've called it the Hunger Games-esque style of drawing out the violin.
Yeah, it's like archery.
But no, I think I'm going to agree with you. Cyprus, Serbia, Lithuania, Ireland, Ukraine, Croatia, Slovenia, Finland, Australia, and Luxembourg. But I think Poland and Iceland could potentially override some of the later ones.
Yeah, I think out of the ones that I haven't named, so the ones that I think are not going to make it, in my opinion, then would be Iceland, Moldova, Azerbaijan, Portugal, and Poland. I feel like out of those 5, Poland and Portugal are the most likely to kick one of the others out.
So there's a little bit of consensus, but not a full consensus at niallpoints HQ over the qualifiers. Now, Thomas, you said you had a list of your personal qualifiers. Do you want to share?
I do. Should I just go at them like from 10 to 1?
Go on.
Like
Let's do 10?
It. Okay. This is partly based on studio cut, but also on what we've seen in live performances so far, especially the one in Amsterdam, since we were there and we got to experience it live. And this is where it already gets a bit tricky for me, because I really do like the song, but since it's such an unknown, I have Australia at 10. I sort of want to put it higher, but I just don't, like, I need more to like fully connect with it. So Australia at 10. In 9th place, I have Cyprus. In 8th, I actually just switched them because I had Cyprus at 8. No, so 9th Cyprus, and I'm going to put Iceland at 8th because I really, really did enjoy that. I didn't really like it that much after the national final. It was kind of like, okay, it's fun. But seeing it live really helped for me. It made it go up in my top 10. So Iceland at 8, Ukraine at 7, which I can already hear like the boos coming from the public who have it in like their top 2 or something. What it is with Ukraine, it's sort of gone down a little bit for me. I really do still like the song, and it's not gone down because I've started to like it less. It's gone down because I've started to like others more. That's basically why it's only at 7. Another one that's gone down a bit for me is Finland. I have it at 6 now. I think I would have had a top 3 before the pre-parties. At number 5, and I know that this is a sort of a controversial one because a lot of people get very political, but I have Luxembourg at 5. I really do enjoy that song. I liked it from the start when I was doing my review of the Luxembourgish national final. It was my favorite. It was well staged. I was actually pleasantly surprised that she did get like a big cheer in Amsterdam. Like, people were nice to her, I felt. So that's at 5. I have Poland at number 4. For the reason, it's Benny digging now. Yeah,
Benny having a wee shake at Poland.
So Poland at number 4. For reasons I've already stated, it's just a fun pop song. It reminds me a little bit of like early days Lady Gaga as well, this sort of music.
Right.
I really like it. In number 3, and this is probably the one that's gone up the most for me since before the pre-party, since the national final, is Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
I would not have had Ireland anywhere near my top 5 3 weeks ago. Like, it really, really went up. It really clicked with me, especially seeing it live. In second place, I have Lithuania. And my number 1 is Croatia. For
Lovely.
obvious reasons, I guess.
Right. I'm going to have to do this on the spot because I will say when I've not done a ranking or even a re-ranking in weeks because I feel like I would just keep changing my mind every day, maybe even every hour, because it really depends on what mood you're in, I think, with a lot of these songs. But let's try anyway. I think number 10, I would put Slovenia. I do really like the song, the studio cut. I just hope it's more impactful live at Eurovision. Let's go for, again, Cyprus 9. It's a fun song. It's a good beat.
Yeah.
I'm going to put Moldova next at 8th because I really enjoy it. There's something about it that just makes me smile, and I don't know if it's just it's just got a really sort of nice simple melody.
It's catchy, it's memorable though.
Yeah, and it gets really stuck in my head quite often. So that might be a bit of a controversial one. So that was 8th. Let's put Luxembourg in 7th.
Okay.
Not because I don't like it, but just because I like others more, as you have said. And I fully agree with you, Thomas. I do genuinely love the song. I understand why people have their issues politically with Tally. However, from what we've seen, she seems really nice in Amsterdam. And I think people have been very quick to judge others without fully understanding their views potentially. I'm not to get too into it, but yeah, I do really like that song. There's something about in the chorus when it has sort of like the march sound, like it's just sort of like a boot stamp. There's something about that just makes me really happy, and I just feel like every time that happens, I just like move my head very suddenly, like walking down the street, and I'll just go.
I also like that it's in 2 languages. I like hearing the combination of the French and the English. I think it's very cute.
Yeah. What am I up to? 7?
I think Luxembourg 7, I think.
Luxembourg 7. We're really good at maths here. Right. Screw it. Iceland 6.
Okay.
Croatia next. And I'm hearing the crowd go boo. There's something I love about
one of them.
There's something I love about this song, but there's also something that's just, I don't know. I love it, but I just don't love it, if that makes sense.
There's a lot to love this year, so
yeah,
it's natural to have countries that you love more than the other.
Yeah, Ukraine 4th. Again, similar with you, would have probably have been really high at one point. It has came down slightly. Ireland next and 3rd. Actually, no. No, yeah, let's do Ireland 3rd. Australia 2nd, because I love it.
Wow.
I will talk about Australia till the cows come home. I absolutely love that song. I love that we've got some Aboriginal language in it, and we've got a lot of culture and heritage feel to it. I just, as I say, there's something about it that tickles the back of my brain. That's the only way I can sort of describe it. It just has this sort of like, whenever it comes on shuffle, it just instantly makes my day feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
And of course, number 1, it's my boy Sylvester Luke Telk for Lithuania. We knew that was coming. But no, I that's one I'm a little bit surprised that it's not gone down for me, because it has been up for so long now. and I have played it so much that I'm almost like surprised that I've not sickened myself of the song. But I'm not like it's just good, simple, fun. Yeah, and blew the roof off of Amsterdam in concert as well. So yeah, I think that's where I'd go. I think we've got very similar qualifiers. Actually, no, we don't. We've got some very different ones in there, but there's some similarity.
Yeah. But the thing is, the ones that you called as qualifiers that I'm not shocked or surprised by the fact that you have them as qualifiers, because like I said, I wouldn't mind them qualifying at all. There's really not a single song in that bunch where I'm like, okay, I would hate to see this qualifying.
I find it really difficult. Like I didn't say Finland in that top 10.
You did not? No.
But I really like Finland as well. I just don't like it as much as some of the others.
Yeah.
I know we keep saying, but Windows and Henry, two of the nicest people alive.
They were very lucky, yeah.
And you can watch our interview with them here. Let's do a little box. We've not done that before. Click the link below. But no, they were fantastic.
You know, it's actually interesting that you said about Lithuania, that it hasn't gone down for you. Like you've had it like in your properly in your top 3 throughout the season, and it wasn't one of the first songs selected, but it was one of the first songs that sort of was released in national final season. I think for Lithuania, for all the heats, it was in heat 1, I think, or maybe heat 2, but I think it was
heat 1. I remember
quite early on this in the season, and it just sort of like, blew the internet and sort of stayed very high throughout the season. Interestingly, though, in semi-final 1, I have it in my second place, and it was in my top 3 for a long time. However, for me, it has gone down a little bit. And when I look at my overall top 37, I now only have it 10th.
Interesting.
So 1 point for me. And that just goes to show how much stronger, in my opinion, semi-final 2 is.
Well, we can talk about that next time.
Yeah.
But this was a nice discussion. Maybe we should do more just little discussions like this.
Yeah.
Nice laid back. I quite like it. I kept talking this weekend about 2 idiots on a podcast. Maybe that's how we go.
I'm down for a podcast.
Idiot 1, idiot 2. So no, keep an eye out. We are trying to give you as much content. We've still got a few reaction videos to make for you. We will get to them hopefully before the contest starts.
There's not that many left. I think 5 or 6.
There's not that many left, but also there's not long left. It's only like 22 days or something like that until Eurovision.
It's insane. Do you remember in like when we left when we said goodbye at the train station in Amsterdam, we were like, okay, see you in 3 weeks, which is just insane. Like it took us from November to March or like April, to see each other again, and now it's like, oh, see you in 3 weeks.
And then after that will be right, see you in a week and a half. In case you're wondering,
not Eurovision related, by the way.
We are actually real friends outside of Eurovision.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah, so we'll do this more because I quite enjoy this, and hopefully there's not a lot to edit a few little silly bits out, but no, all good.
Just maybe edit Billy and Benny out here and there.
Only little bits. We need context. No, that was great. Keep an eye on niallpoints.com. All of our reviews do end up on there. There's also both of our interviews with Bambi and Windows 95 Man and Henry Peace Bannon. Go take a look, because actually I think Thomas was a natural. And we'll try and do a Amsterdam debrief maybe as well.
Yeah, let's do that.
And Niall Points blog on Twitter and Instagram. Give us a follow, give us a like, subscribe here, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.